Alrighty, so this is my second parter. Hopefully you guys caught my Titanfall video, kind of the decline of what's happening with the Titanfall franchise, the Titanfall DNA stuff. But in this video, we are going to be talking about kind of what's been happening with the Battlefield franchise and my prediction that it's going to be facing pretty much the exact same thing that Titanfall franchise has been going through. I'm pretty sure Battlefield is going to go down the exact same path because of what has been recently announced, especially with Vince Zampella now taking over the DICE studio and the Battlefield franchise and kind of exactly what EA is wanting to do with the Battlefield franchise and wanting to create a Battlefield universe. This is one thing I don't really think a lot of players that are diehard Battlefield fans and players are asking for, especially when it comes to Battlefield 2042 and the specialists and the way that they act and the way that they work within the game. There's a lot of players out there that are not wanting Battlefield to go down this route, and we're going to talk about that today, especially with the way that I see this news with Vince joining and kind of getting the deciding factor of where this game franchise is going to go. I want to give my opinion about it because I think there's a lot of people out there saying, you know what, they're super excited. They're, oh man, Vince Zampella, yeah, he created Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, the Titanfall franchise. This is awesome, exciting, awesome, really, well, this really great news for Battlefield. And I'm thinking, no, it's not, especially with the news that they're wanting to do a Battlefield universe. If you look at exactly what has happened to the Titanfall franchise, man, it is really looking pretty damn similar to what they're wanting to do with Battlefield, and I really do think the Battlefield franchise is going to go down the Titanfall route, and seeing the Titanfall franchise decline and go towards Apex Legends, it might see the same effect happening with the Battlefield franchise. Look, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. As somebody that enjoys Battlefield and what that game has to offer, I don't want to see it decline. I don't want to see it going down the route of Titanfall, but I feel like with Vince Zampella joining, I feel like with the way that EA is wanting to take this franchise, man, it looks very damn similar to what happened with the Titanfall franchise. So let's first off talk about a couple of things, and then again, like I said, this is going to be pretty much just a commentary dialogue. I want to talk about exactly kind of what's happening within the Battlefield game within the past couple of weeks, talk about some numbers before we get into the news of Vince joining in, and this kind of actually really with what has been happening with tracking on Steam and player number wise and some of the updates that have been coming to the Battlefield 2042 game. It really is just one thing is adding to the next and the next and the next on why, at least for 2042, it feels like it's on the decline. The Battlefield franchise feels like it's on the decline, especially with them wanting to create a universe within the franchise, similar to what happened with Apex Legends and Titanfall stuff. So let's talk about this first off. So this is very funny to see. This is actually posted yesterday, but this is the numbers right now on Steam with Battlefield 2042 with 23,000 players playing it, and Battlefield 5 with 22,800 players playing that game. That is crazy to see, with 2042 being the most recent Battlefield game that have come out. And man, oh man, at least on Steam, it is looking pretty damn similar in numbers. And this is actually the one funny thing that I've noticed is that with the recent decline of players in 2042, especially with the recent announcement of Battlefield 2042 has lost 70% of its players in 2 weeks on Steam. Playing it on Origin, I've definitely noticed a lot more games having bots in them. it's just been odd things. Understanding that Battlefield 2042 has bots in it, I have definitely noticed a lot more bots being added to my game, or joining a game and not having enough players and bots are already there. Maybe eventually players will join in, the bots will go away. But it's definitely one thing I've noticed recently especially with the news coming out that I mean, the numbers are pretty similar, for a game that's several years old to a game that just came out, a month ago. It's very weird seeing the numbers, being pretty close together, and especially with the news of 70% of its player base on Steam is lost. This kind of goes on with other news, especially with more updates apparently coming out later up this month before the end of the year. But Battlefield 2042 had its most recent update with 3.1 weapon balancing, map changes, and stuff like that. And it's crazy to know that this game has had so many updates, so many patches, so many things changed and updated. I just don't understand the lack of adding anything like really concrete. Like, yeah, you've changed some of the things with this, but one of the things that have been added with Rush. Rush is a limited time game mode, apparently, at least when it comes to Portal side. But a lot of people have been asking, why isn't Rush added into the mix? Why isn't Rush added into Conquest and added into with Breakthrough, and having that having that option of playing Rush also with the 64 players? They haven't been able to do changes like that, being able to add in additional game modes, team deathmatch and stuff like that, because they have been doing so many updates and changes to the balancing of the game, different patches and stuff to fix this and that. They have been so bogged down with trying to make sure that this game is playable with the amount of bugs that are in the game. They haven't been able to do anything to where they've been able to add new game modes that are solidified in the game that are going to be permanent. It's, limited time game modes, limited time this, limited time that. Which is actually funny to talk about as well. I don't know if anybody has mentioned this, and I'm just first learning about this today, but Battlefield 2042 is getting a Santa versus Elves mode for the holidays. Now, I know the recent news, the past couple of days, that, the tease of the Santa Boris, cosmetic that came out, a lot of people were up in arms about that. And I'll be honest, I actually didn't have a huge issue with the Boris cosmetic. I actually didn't think it looked that bad. I thought it looked okay. But this is actually the one thing that a lot of people are having trouble with, and just not understanding the direction that 2042 is going. Is 2042 supposed to be a realistic, post-apocalyptic type of game with realism and really grit and trying to figure out the trauma that the places are going through, people are going through, the notepads are going through, the conflict between United States and Russia and whatnot? We don't have a campaign to understand exactly what's going on within this universe that 2042 has created, or the storyline that the 2042 has created. But the storyline is supposed to happen within the multiplayer. Well, you kind of get that with the introduction to multiplayer game modes and stuff, as getting into a game, but it's slowly taken away with the tragic and just cringe-worthy end screen of your Angel saying this and that, and all these other characters adding these goofy quips towards the end that really kind of takes people out of it, which is sad to say, because there was a lot of build up to the storyline of 2042 with cinematic trailers. Even EA has something on their website where this is the history, this is what's been happening from time point today to when 2042 happens. There's a huge history of exactly what's been going on within the world, but that's not really explored whatsoever, besides these little blurbs towards the beginning of the beginning of a match. That's it. That's it. That is exactly what is happening with the universe. So people are not having an understanding of exactly what is happening within the game, because they have this post-apocalyptic type of game that's somewhat built up, but also these goofy cosmetic items that are previewing, or these goofy modes that are introducing, apparently Santa versus Elves. And that's just the one thing that players are just like, okay, is the game supposed to be taken seriously like previous Battlefield games, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, 3, 4, Bad Company and all this stuff like that, or is it supposed to be goofy? If it's supposed to be goofy, go towards the goofiness, go towards adding in this goofy cosmetic and stuff like that. I don't think people would have an issue with the way that 2042 is going if it just decided one way or the other, but for some reason that's not the case in this game. It's supposed to be serious, post-apocalyptic, but also with Santa versus Elves. I just make a decision. Is it goofy or is it serious? I think that would get a lot of people's attention on exactly what's happening with 2042. Let's talk about this. Now, a lot of people got excited about this. Van Zampella taking over a large role with the Battlefield franchise as DICE GM. A lot of people got excited about this because he is somebody that's been a big, big person when it comes to first-person shooters. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Titanfall franchise. I am seeing nothing but bad news from this, especially with the way that EA is wanting to do with microtransactions. They're wanting to take a piece out of what Activision has done with Warzone and the cosmetic items that they sell in that. And that's kind of the thing that pisses me off the most, is that EA and the Battlefield franchise, DICE, can't even just go, you know what, let's make something our own. Let's not copy off of somebody else. Let's not copy off this BR stuff. Let's create something that's our own. Let's be unique. But for some reason, companies want to go towards just doing the same BS that another company is doing because, oh, they're making money. Well, sure as hell we can make money. it's just not, it's just rubbing the players, rubbing the fan base off the wrong way. I'm seeing this as Vince Zampella taking over, going, man, the Battlefield franchise is going to go exactly the same way the Titanfall franchise goes, because you saw the Titanfall franchise, great first-person shooter, great multiplayer experience, it had a great franchise, a great universe, and then it spun off to a Hero BR that has completely destroyed the Titanfall franchise, because Apex Legends makes the most money and the Titanfall franchise does not. So they're taking away the Titanfall franchise, the universe, and going towards what makes them the most money with Respawn. I see them doing the exact same thing with this, especially with the news of them wanting to create a universe, them wanting to create a Hero BR shooter. I don't see how Battlefield can go any different route than what the way the Titanfall franchise has gone. It just makes me very it makes me very suspicious on exactly what is happening with what they're wanting to do with this. And I think it's just a big cash grab. It is a big money maker that they're wanting to create with seeing the success of Warzone. They're seeing the success of Apex Legends, and they're not wanting to just do their own thing. They're not wanting to just create their own thing and be unique. They're wanting to just create something that other studios, other companies have done that just kind of takes away the uniqueness that the Battlefield franchise offered with so many games, 4, 5, all these other, it's just, it sucks, man. It sucks to see the decline of 2042. The player base is on the decline, and the seriousness of what Battlefield had to offer, it's just, it's sad. It really is. It's disappointing to see that. I could be wrong. I really could. I could be wrong. I could, the EA, what with them wanting to create a Battlefield universe, a hero shooter, it could be extremely successful, make EA billions of dollars. But I don't see Battlefield rising above the ashes of what a hero shooter is going to be created in its form, the way that Titanfall, Apex Legends was created out of Titanfall's form, with Titanfall taking the back seat and damn near dead. I don't see Battlefield doing anything other than what has happened in the Titanfall franchise. If a hero shooter is created, if they're wanting to create this universe in the Battlefield franchise, which again, I don't know what the hell that's all about, just create a Battlefield game. Get some, not specialists, get class roles, class system, and do that. I don't know why everybody has to do the exact same thing that somebody else is doing. Be unique. You have a great system that people love. Do that system. But for some reason, they're wanting to do exactly what everybody else is doing, and it's just sad to see, man. It really is. So, but anyway, just wanted to give you guys my opinion about exactly where I'm seeing Titanfall, Battlefield 2042. Seeing exactly where it's at right now, currently, with losing player base, still continuing to try to update the game with barely adding anything to it, especially permanent game modes, Team Deathmatch, Rush, and stuff like that, or even 64-player game modes. They're still trying to continue to just try to update this game and fix it. Where they just sort of just released it later on down the line and had all these fixes available later on. But they're still trying to fix the damn game. Vince Zampella joining the fray now and joining a bigger role in DICE and with Battlefield. I don't see this going anywhere but down for the Battlefield franchise. They're wanting to create a hero shooter. They're wanting to create a universe. Sounds very similar to what happened to the Battlefield or the Titanfall franchise, and I don't see Battlefield going anywhere but the same direction that Titanfall went. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about what's happened so far with 2042, player base loss, with the updates, anything added, especially what do you guys think about 2040 or Battlefield, the franchise, going the exact same route that Titanfall does? If they create a hero shooter, if they create a BR, if they create this universe that they're wanting to do, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day. Look forward to talking to you guys all next time.